Peace, everybody. So, I wanted to hop on here and speak about the experience that I had during the summer of 2022. It's a quick video, it's a quick experience, but I still wanted to share it. And the beings that came in contact with me during this time were blue. And I was in my bedroom in Fort Collins, Colorado. I went for rest that night, eyes closed, and all of a sudden, my eyes opened. And when they did, everything around me in my bedroom was now blue. It had a bluish hue to it. And I realized that my right arm was extended out. And I felt a hand on my right arm. At this point, I looked up and I looked over and I realized right over to my right and within my eye-line sight, there were two beings in my room. One on my bed, the other to the side of my bed on what would be the floor on the right side of my bed. And these beings were both blue. I'm about 5'7" in height, and even though height and size in the astrals is different, they weren't drastically bigger and taller than me, and they weren't drastically smaller. If I were standing up, I think we would either be the same height or they were just a hair smaller in size. Their heads were more narrow, and I sketched a rough image of what they looked like. So I'm just gonna show that. And that was their head shape. They still had eyes and they had a mouth, but they didn't communicate with me verbally. And they did not communicate with me telepathically either. What happened was that at this moment I tried sitting up, and one of the beings, the one closer to me, immediately put its hand to my stomach, and I fell backwards to my pillows. I tried sitting back up again, and it just added a little more pressure to my stomach, and I fell back to my pillows. This was early on in my experiences in the astral realm, ever since my third eye became unblocked in 2021. So it took a lot of effort to just look to the left, look to the right, open my eyes, let alone sit up, get out of your bed, my bed, and move about the space. So he definitely had me in his grips, essentially, or this being. And I didn't feel that I was in any danger. I definitely felt safe, and I believe what was going on was that this being and the one next to it were working on my astral body to prepare me for this shift that I do believe is coming a lot sooner than later. Whether they were taking properties away that do not spiritually serve me for this shift, or were making sure that they were adding spiritual properties into me, whether they were doing something to my consciousness to, I don't want to say upgrade it, but do whatever it is they can to make sure that I have as smooth of a transition with this shift as cosmically possible. And I think that's what was really taking place. I wish, going back, that I would have said something, or I would have thought to say something, but as I mentioned, it just took a lot of energy during that part of my spiritual journey to just open my eyes, really. And their hands. So I mentioned how one of them had their hand on my right arm, and when I looked over, they didn't have 5 fingers. This being had 3, so it looked a little more like this. And their fingers were longer than mine, and the width of one finger was maybe about 1.5 or 2 of my fingers. So yeah, I wanted to share that little experience, and I hope if you have seen these beings that it was as gentle and smooth of a process as it was for me. I want to reiterate that I didn't feel that I was in any danger whatsoever, and after meditating on it months and now years after it happened, I still don't believe that's the case. So if you have seen blue beings and they are coming to you, I would love to hear what's going on in your experience. What are you seeing beyond the veil? I believe that there are a handful of beings that are helping us in whatever way that they can to prepare us for this spiritual shift that is coming. Alright, so that was this video, and I want to end it with sending peace, divine love, and courage to every single 9 ether being that is trying to get out of this matrix. Peace.